Hello, BookTube. It's Saturday afternoon. I worked for part of the day and then came home, and my wife and my youngest boy, we went out to the thrift store because I was jonesing to go do something different besides work. And I made a mixed media haul. And what I mean by that, it's not all books. I had been speaking back and forth with a fellow booktuber and good friend, Ernest Lee Eston. He, wonderful channel and a real good guy. And we've been talking. He's been doing opera chats. And I told him I always make these goals for reading. And I listen to a lot of music and I read about music. But I never really have any goals. So as a general New Year goal, I said I was going to listen to a lot more music and think about music a lot more. So this today reflects that a bit. It's chance because you don't know what you're going to get at a charity shop, but I just happened to run into some stuff. But to start with, oh, my cat's yelling at me. So to start with, I am going to show a book which has nothing to do with music as far as I know. This is Robert Jordan. It seems awful small compared to his other volumes. There's the end papers and the maps. He doesn't understand what I'm doing. The author. No, go that way. This thing seems a little cockeyed or something. So this is called New Spring, the novel, The Wheel of Time in the Beginning by Robert Jordan. It came out, Tom Doherty Association's book, which is Tor Fantasy, out of New York. And this is the first edition of January 2004. I've never seen this before that I know of. I've seen the big volumes. It's usually a random number. I have one or two of them. I did read in the first book in the series. What was that? The Eye of the World. But I've never seen this, so I don't know anything about it, but I grabbed it. Let's see. For 3 days, battle is raged in the snow around the great city of Tar Valon. In the city, a foretelling of the future is uttered. On the slopes of Dragon Mount, the immense mountain that looms over the city, is born an infant prophesied to change the world. That child must be found before the forces of the shadow have the opportunity to kill him. Moraine Damodred, a young accepted, soon to be raised to Aes Sedai, and Lan Mandragoran, a soldier fighting in the battle, are set on paths that will bind their lives together. But those paths are filled with complications and dangers, for Moraine, of the royal house of Carhain, whose king has just died, and Lan, considered the uncrowned king of a nation long dead, find their lives threatened by the plots of those seeking power. New Spring, in quotation marks, the novella first published in Legends, related some of these events in compressed form. New Spring, the novel, tells the whole story. So this, I guess, came out originally as a novella. And if Legends, are they talking about, does anybody know, are they talking about Robert Silverberg edited some anthologies called Legends? Is that what we're talking about here? If you know, in the comments, let me know. And is it a standalone thing that I can read without reading the rest of the series? So that does it for books. So then we have what we call an epic fail. I went through the books first, as I always do. Then I go over to the vinyl, the LPs. And I find a couple that are okay. I'm thinking about getting them, so I'm carrying around, lugging around this stuff. And then on the off chance, I walk over to the CDs. Now, the CDs are the cheapest thing in the place. They're 50 cents a piece. And the CDs and DVDs are right next to each other. So I see a bunch of music CDs. So I start leaving my piles of stuff behind me because I'm more interested in these. I'm going to grab these. I see a couple things I want. There's another gentleman in there looking around, and right when I'm going through the CDs, I'm all excited. He's over in the DVDs. He goes, "Oh wow, this is nice." And I turn and look, and he was right. It was the four opera DVD set, James Levine's Wagner's Ring Cycle. I have never seen it for less than $100. Maybe it is now. I don't know, but I've always thought that I'd really like to have it. And I had to congratulate him on his find, which was tough. But yeah, I'm sitting there, when we started talking, so I kept looking at the DVDs after that. So I did find some, and I gave him a bunch. That I wasn't going to go crazy, but I did do well. The DVDs are $2.75, so that tells you how well he did, and I did well. So to start off with, I got this Pioneer Classics Metropolitan Opera. Again, the James Levine conducting. And this is Wagner's Lohengrin, or Lohengrin, or however you say it. I am really looking forward to watching it. I don't know how much glare you're getting there. I think you're getting a bit. I'll do my best here. The medieval romance of the Swan Knight, who comes miraculously to the rescue of the falsely accused Elsa of Brabant, became one of Richard Wagner's most beloved operas. Enacted against a background of chivalric and religious pageantry and made vivid by Wagner's powerful, richly scored music, Lohengrin comes grippingly to life in this handsome Metropolitan Opera production, featuring a notable cast under the baton of artistic director James Levine. Excuse me, sorry about that. So we have Eva Martone, Leonie Reiseneck, Peter Hoffman, Leif Rohr, John McCurdy. This is from January 10th, 1986, and it does have English subtitles. All these do. I like listening to the original music. I don't even think this thing's been open. I think it has been open. So it doesn't really have a libretto per se. It does, well, I guess it does have a direction, an introduction. And then on here, the breakdown of the, boy, the glare is something in here. And then the set designers and all that. Well, that was the first one. The next one is, again, James Levine, the Metropolitan Opera and Chorus, but this is a Deutsche Grammophon Metropolitan Opera. It's Giuseppe Verdi's Aida. There we go. Again, like I say, English subtitles. This is more of a libretto proper. It's a little thicker. I don't know if you can tell. Let's see what we have here. We have April Milo, Placido Domingo, one of my favorites, Delora Zajic, Cheryl Milnes, Paata Berkoladze, and Dmitri Kavrakos, Metropolitan Opera and Orchestra, James Levine. And this thing is an opera on a grand scale. I'm really looking forward to seeing this. And when did this, do they say? They usually say when this was done. This is copyright 1989. So Emmy Award winner 89 and 90 for outstanding classical program in the performing arts. So there's probably a date on here somewhere, but I'm not going to drive everybody crazy while I look for it. The next one I got is Salome by Richard Strauss. Again, a Deutsche Grammophon. $2.75 for each of these. My assumption is that this was, it would have to have been a whole collection that was donated at once. This is Karl Bohm as the conductor. This is the Wiener Philharmonica. Stratus, Weichel, Varney, and Beerer, I think is how you say it. It's, I wonder if they say when this one, I like it when they say when the production occurred. This is 1988. And then Mozart's Die Zauberflöte, Deutsche Grammophon, Wolfgang Sawallisch, and this is, well, let me show it to you. Oh boy, what? I'm going to have to really figure out this lighting thing here. We're getting better with the sound, but it has some sort of note here for an internet thing, but it's basically let me get this out here. So the Magic Flute, opera in 2 acts. Wolfgang Sawallisch. You have a whole bunch of people who were in the cast itself. Kurt Moll, Edita Gruberova, Lucia Popp, Francisco Ariza, Wolfgang Brundle, Gudrun Sieber, Jan Hendrik Rudering, and Norbert Orth. Let me see if anybody big. Oh, that's it. So this will be fun to watch. I've listened to this before, but I don't think I've ever watched it. And that's the thing I like about the DVDs. I like it with the subtitles. It helps me learn a little bit. And then this one has this has 2. It has Mascagni's Cavalera Rusticana, and then Leoncavallo's Pagliacci. And Pagliacci has one of those great arias that I love. So this is, in Cavalera Rusticana, they have Obritsova, Placido Domingo, and Brusson. And then in Pagliacci, they got Stratus, Domingo, and Pons, Rinaldi, and Andriola. It's a La Scala Theater. It's with Georges Petri, I guess is how you'd pronounce it. And again, it's a Deutsche Grammophon. It's got the libretto. Oh, here's a picture of Axel Gall and Placido Domingo. And yeah, so this will be great fun. Some over the winter to watch these. So nice little collection of operas, and actually because one has 2 operas in it, more than it looks like. So then, so this is mixed media, right? We have to go from books to DVDs. Now we're going to go to CDs. I did not get any of the vinyl because there were so many CDs, and they're 50 cents. So Gounod's Faust with Cheryl Struter, Richard Leach, Jose Von Damme, and Thomas Hampson. It's the orchestra of the capital of Toulouse with Michael Playson, the conductor. A box set. This 1991, and this is Musical Heritage Society, but this originally was EMI France and Angel EMI Records. So you get the box, and then you get the jeweled case, and then you have a pretty substantial libretto here, which helps you follow along, and then there'll be background information. I do have this in a couple different recordings, but I did not have this. So, and I wouldn't mind finding a DVD of this. I just think with opera, I mean, I love listening to it, but of course it's a visual spectacle as well, and I'd like to enjoy that a little more. Then we have, of course, the great one, Luciano Pavarotti, Cheryl Struter and Juan Pons, the Metropolitan Opera Orchestra and Chorus under James Levine. This is a Deutsche Grammophon recording, Giuseppe Verdi's La Traviata. another box set. So this, when do they say this? It's just so hard to find the dates on these. So, and it's, once I find it, it's obvious, but. So again, the jeweled case with the and then you have the libretto, James Levine on the cover. So I have that. And then the rest of these are all individual CDs. Montserrat Caballé, Puccini Arias, London Symphony Orchestra, under, sort of covered up there, Charles Mackerras. And this is an EMI. A little sticker on it, thanking the person who got it, but I'll take that off. So, Puccini Arias from Turandot, Madama Butterfly, Man in Lascaux, Tosca, Le Bohème, a few others. Then we have a Deutsche Grammophon, Mozart, Leonard Bernstein, let's see, Ave Verum, Exulte Jubilate, so the Greater Mass in C. Well, I really didn't have much of a chance to look at these, but for 50 cents you can take a bit of a risk. Of course, I'm sure I'm going to. I really like Deutsche Grammophon recordings. So you can see the books from behind the. I'll give you a tour of the room. So when you buy an LPs, Deutsche Grammophon is usually a pretty safe one to grab too, as long as it's not scratched up. Here, we'll do another one. We have another Magic Flute. This one's Mozart's Magic Flute by Herbert von Karajan as the conductor. So we got that one in more than once, right? And then finally, this is, I guess the recording company is Danon. I don't know them. It's set up a little different than what I'm used to. And it does appear to be Japanese. It is made in Japan. So I thought it was pretty cool. Japanese are great lovers. Some Japanese are great lovers of classical music. So this is how we would normally hold it, but this is how you would look at it there. Then on the back here has multiple languages, right? But they do have English. So Telemann sonatas, suites in small pieces. Heinz Holliger, oboe. Klaus Thunemann, bassoon. And Christian Jacotet, I can believe that's how you say it, is harpsichord and improvise on the basso continuo. So I did listen to this a little bit on the way home in the car. And it really sounded good. So the first CD like that I think I've ever purchased. So yeah, that's the haul. Let me do one of those famous Steve pyramids. I'm not sure how that's going to work. A mixed media pyramid. Not a bad haul. Well, I think I spent about 15 bucks. So I hope you're all having a good weekend. I'm going to do some listening and I'm going to do some reading. I've got a bunch of books that have the bookmark right towards the end and I just haven't gotten to them. So that's what the weekend's for. And thank you, BookTube.